Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today I wanted to jump on here to do a reading for you. I've been feeling major dragon energy lately, and you know, some people work with the dragons often, and I work with dragon energy often. However, there's something really prominent lately about dragon energy in terms of grounding, in terms of really stepping into your power and authenticity. And I don't know if people are needing to put firm boundaries up, because when I see dragon energies, I see more downloads coming in, but also like a widening of the solar plexus chakra. Not so much heart chakra. I'm not saying that dragons are not loving. They are so loving. They're higher dimensional beings. However, I do feel like there's definitely something about the importance of these downloads coming in, staying in your power and grounding that energy, being more practical in your approach to what it is that you're doing in life, moving towards your goals, and not being so influenced by your heart. So it could also be if somebody has been causing drama in your life, or crossing your boundaries or whatever, or not respecting you or something, or just causing distractions in your life. I feel like there's, if you're a very sensitive being, if you're sensitive to energies, you're more often going to be like, what is this person doing? Like, I hope they're okay. Why are they acting this way? And you're trying to figure things out about this person or these people or this situation, and you're putting your heart into it. But the dragons are coming in to kind of let you know that this person or the situation is not really worth your time. In fact, it's not worth your time, because there's something about dragons coming in as a form of divine protection and divine intervention. It's like there's no more distractions. There's no more influence of these people who are not here to add to your life. In fact, they're probably taking away from your life. In fact, I feel like there have been situations with people that may have been taking from you slowly without you even realizing it. Because you're not going to assume that they're going to be doing that. It's almost like you're minding your own business. This is the energy that I'm getting. You're minding your own business, and there are people around you who may not want to see you succeed, who have some sort of like not very good vibes towards, that insecure, jealous feeling. As you're minding your own, people might be secretly competing with you, or thinking that you're competing with them, but you're just minding your own. But because they have been brought up in environments where that is the norm for them to assume people are always competing and that there's hierarchy or whatever, they are actually causing a distraction, or they're pulling away energies from you without you even realizing it. So they're also saying that maybe you've been feeling tired around these people. You'll know this if you're feeling tired around these people, or when this person is around, you just feel agitated, or you feel like unwell. I feel like maybe your stomach hurts a little bit, like in terms of your solar plexus tightens up, or maybe you're dropping things more often. But I feel like these dragons are coming in where it's like, this isn't going to be okay, because you have some stuff to do. You have some goals to start implementing now, and the time is now. That's what I'm getting. I was channeling a painting of this. I didn't even know dragon energies were coming in until I started painting this, and I have never painted in this way or this pattern before, and you can see it here. I started painting these first, and I was like, what is that? Because for those who have been watching me for a while, like, you will notice that the paintings that I have are watercolor for channel paintings. However, it's never been like this, like, ever. And I was kind of surprised about it until I realized that it is in fact protection from the dragon scale, like dragon scale protection. So you're highly divinely protected right now, and there is a firm boundary between those who can enter into your energy field and those who cannot. And those who consistently try to siphon energy or like to cross boundaries with you, whether that is in your dream state or, you know, astral state or whatever, they're you know, dragons are amazing. They don't just stand and protect, right? They can burn things down. They can crash down towers. They can really burn others who have been deliberately causing harm, is what I'm getting. And I feel like as I'm looking at this was kind of interesting. I don't know if you see this, but it's like whatever somebody is sending towards you, it's moving into, you know, because everything is seen, everything is recorded in terms of like the energetic world where they are watching all the time. If somebody has been gossiping or smear campaign or just like sending nasty energy, it's almost like it's creating this third energy, even if they might not be consciously aware of it. It's because when you think about something, you start manifesting things. So if they're thinking about negativity or like sending nasty energy towards someone, it can create a third energy, and spirit is saying like this is not allowed. So it's almost like there's divine intervention in terms of taking that energy, blocking it, but also putting it into this kind of cellar or box. And this is kind of accruing in a way where it's going to kind of trap itself in this small little container to which it cannot keep pouring out and affecting you or anyone, right? Except for the person that is sending it. And oftentimes we think that we're just going to throw that back at the sender. It's not. It's basically that person or those people who are thinking these negative thoughts, or they're sending like negative vibes, or they're gossiping or creating rumors or whatever, causing drama, chaos, whatever you want to call it. They are in that vibrational state of constantly manifesting and creating more of that. They're focusing their energy on that, and it's building. And so a lot of people think that it's going to be thrown back at that person. It's actually no, that person's creating it for themselves. And the dragons want you to kind of know that they're going to cause a lot of embarrassment for themselves. This karmic energy to which they are fueling and building, that is of their own making. And karma is really about actions and consequences, right? So if they're continuously doing that, there are consequences to that, and they will receive that. So it's not able to touch you. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not able to touch you. And this is not being thrown back at them. It's basically creating a wall, and it's almost like charging based on how much energy they're sending and creating, because that will literally be of their own making, whether they're consciously aware of it or not. Whew. I'm like, why? I feel like my heart is like, my higher heart is like wanting to express that. I feel like there's some people that maybe have been kind of like, I don't know if that, you know what, I don't really understand that term, holding your breath. Wanting something, holding your breath thinking the shoe is gonna drop, or like just holding your breath in terms of like uncertain as to what's gonna happen next, holding your breath as to holding back what you want to speak of in your heart space. It's almost like you're getting this relief of like finally knowing that the universe has seen what's been happening, and they are no longer going to allow this to continue, because it's like they see how much trauma, it's causing anxiety for you. It's causing anxiety for you. And you could be a very grounded person. You can be a very sensitive soul naturally. And because of the persistence of these people or this person, it's almost like there needs to be higher dimensional forces to assist you, because you have a purpose, right? So the focus of this reading is really about you have a purpose to do, and you need to ground these energies, and you need to start living your physical life. You need to start having steps towards these goals that you want to make, because at the end of the day, you can be a high vibrational being, super sensitive to energies, getting downloads all the time, and having all these dreams of what you want to do. However, what is the purpose of that if you're in a physical incarnation and you're not physically taking action steps towards it? So there's a major cycle here, I feel, in terms of closing chapters in your life where you have literally let go of all sorts of distractions. So this might be a past life trauma or a past life lesson that has continuously been percolating and like going throughout all of your lifetimes. And I feel like this lifetime, it's like you have seen this pattern over and over again, and you have done so much healing on yourself over and over again. And it's almost like kind of annoying to you that you kind of have to deal with these people or these things again and again. And because Spirit has seen the work that you've been doing and have been continuously doing, they're going to help you out. Just like, you know, if you weren't doing any of the work and you were just like, Spirit, can you deal with this? They're not going to do that. They're going to have you kind of work through the lessons yourself. But if you've been consistent in learning these lessons, and I think a lot of it has to do with letting go of distractions, not allowing other people's perception of you or judgments on you to affect you, not allowing, you know, it's good to be empathic and sensitive, but you are not responsible for other people's happiness. So if somebody is like not happy with you with something, or like they're doing something to aggravate you, or like they're intentionally causing disruptions in your life or making it difficult for you for whatever reason, it's like you're learning that dragon energy, you're going to step into your power, you're going to take the downloads you have, and you're going to ground it and work on your physical goals, right? Your physical goals in terms of what you want to manifest. And maybe physical goals can be like, maybe you want to eat healthier, exercise, or whatever, have a healthier lifestyle, something like that. But you're not going to allow your heart to be focused on trying to people please, and trying to wonder why this person isn't happy, and like what you could have done wrong or whatever, like in terms of like trying to figure things out, trying to make peace where somebody clearly doesn't want to have any peace. That's kind of what I'm getting. You're removing that people-pleasing tendency that you've had for many, many years, and you're stepping into your power and knowing that your focus is going to be on your purpose. Your focus is going to be on the people who matter to you, that make a difference in your life, right? Like, I keep getting that message from Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu always goes, what's a gnat to a wildebeest? Which is a very interesting saying, because it's not really a lingo that I normally would say, but it's true. Who are these gnats to a wildebeest? You being the wildebeest. And these gnats are nothing. They're just trying to distract you. And don't let them. That's kind of the message that I'm getting. Wow, that really wanted to come out, didn't it? All right, so let's see. Let's jump into the cards and see what else Spirit wants to say. You know, and it's kind of funny. Dragons don't come in just for kicks. Dragons come in to get shit done. And dragons come in when somebody's acting like a muck, and there's extra divine forces that need to come in to stop it from interfering. I do feel like sometimes we have soul contracts with people, and I feel like maybe on a higher level, you guys are supposed to work together and learn something from one another. However, you know, higher selves versus lower selves are not always in sync. So maybe on a higher level, people have agreed to learn certain things with you, but on a lower level, maybe they're not willing to grow or change. And instead of doing any of that work, they tend to project because they don't want to look inside. They'll look outside and project and throw envy, hate, projections, whatever you want to call it, towards those around them instead, wreaking chaos really, because looking at their own shadows brings them too much shame. Okay, so there's that. This card wants to come out. It says stand your ground. So this reading is very prominent in saying, like, you just keep doing you. Focus on what it is that makes you happy and the people that that are important to you. The second card, it says patience. You know, I usually don't like that card, patience, but I do feel like it's really important, and I understand why it's out right now. Like, not like I don't understand why it's out the other times that I pull that card, but there's something about now where it says you may want to see expedited results with what it is that you're manifesting, but there's something about this grounded nature that you're in that kind of, you start to appreciate every step along the way, even learning these key lessons that you just passed here, and closing this major cycle. It's like you're appreciating it. You're not rushing through it. You're not getting your A in your exam and then tossing it aside and then running off to the next thing. You're actually looking at your stuff, looking at your report card, getting really, you know, satisfied in how far you've come and all the projects you made along the way and all the people that you met and what you learned in between. And then what you're doing is you're taking a breather so that when you start the next thing, it's not like you're out of breath or you're running away from something. You're actually firmly rooted and grounded into what it is that you want to create next. And you know exactly which way to go. And you know, you play the long game. You're looking at long-term foundational structures that will lead to long-term success. So these cards came out. Solitude. I think, like, for those who are watching, that you guys have been in this boat for a long time. Like, you've been kind of looking at your past, but you're always been like kind of alone. Even though you know that you're not alone, you're surrounded by guides and your angels, and you know that you're not alone. But I think sometimes you look at your past as memories of love, like things that you felt like didn't work out, or you felt like were just a fleeting dream that you once wanted before, and as like a lost thing that couldn't happen again, that's sailed. But I think, like, before, maybe you thought that maybe you failed and that it wasn't meant for you. And you know, some stuff in life, it's not meant for you because it's not in alignment with you, and it's not in alignment with what it is you truly are supposed to be doing. It doesn't mean you're a failure. It means that you did whatever you could in that direction, gave it your all, and it was time to let it go. Whereas I feel like there's also times where you give it your all and you had to let it go for now, right? For a certain period of time. It doesn't mean that, you know, it's not meant for you. So these things that you may have wanted to do and you kind of let it go, and they're coming back to you and you're seeing it percolating. I never use that word. Somebody's saying percolating. Bubbling in the background. It's like giving you a sign. These things that you have let go, if they return to you, there's a good chance, you gotta trust your intuition, that is something where you're supposed to be moving towards now. That is something that you're supposed to be moving towards now. And, you know, the timing before wasn't right, but this timing now is right. And it's like you can see it. You can see it. And what maybe back then you wanted to rush to kind of make it happen, it's almost like it wasn't the right time because your foundations weren't right. There was something about this lesson that you had to learn people-pleasing tendencies, or letting go of distractions, or grounding yourself, like whatever, maybe all three of them, whatever those lessons are, those were lessons that you needed to learn before you started doing this task, this thing that you wanted to do. Because there's something about, I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, like there's something about, if you didn't learn the lessons, these things, if you were to have received them or attained them, they would have fallen through your hands. You wouldn't have been able to hold it, at least not for long. But there's something about the things that you have now, the understanding that you have now, where it's long term. Ain't nobody gonna take these out of your hands. Like it's yours. Yeah. You healed through mental conflict, like thinking about small details. Thinking about things that are not significant in the overall scheme of your life. You're letting go of petty people. Maybe you've been focusing a lot on people, and Spirit is just saying, like, you're letting go of that. Letting go of fear of rejections, letting go of rumination. It's almost like if somebody, for instance, had a problem with you and they didn't say anything, you'd be ruminating about that over and over again, trying to figure out all the puzzle pieces of what could have possibly happened, or what you could have done, what could have unfolded in a way that might have caused that person, or maybe they're going through something. You would think about that so often, but now it's almost like you're at a point in your life where it's like, if they have an issue, they can communicate. If they have a problem, they would be saying something. And if they respected you, they would want to clear up any potential miscommunication, so that they're not assuming that you're a terrible person or you're doing something bad. Like what you're seeing now, I feel, if that's the case, if somebody has been doing that to you, you're seeing very clearly that this person actually never had any respect for you, because they already have an idea of who you are. Because if they thought of you in a good light, like a better light, they would ask questions and clarify situations, instead of automatically treating you like crap, or giving you the silent treatment, or going around telling other people whatever that you did without clearing things up. I'm getting like energies of potential smear campaigns. And just like my other video I made a long time ago, it has something to do with just profound clarity on what's important and what's not. Because there is something here where I feel like smear campaigns, as terrible as they are, they become blessings in the overall schematic or scheme of your life. And it's because, I don't even think scheme is the right word. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. It tells me that you get to see who exactly is believes in you, or if somebody directly chooses sides without hearing your side of the story. You don't want dumb people that don't look at both sides, first and foremost. But you also get a clear image of people who you may have thought were loyal, but they are not, right? And you're getting a very clear picture on who you are and what's important and how much you love yourself. Because if you really love yourself, you wouldn't be focused on whatever other people are saying, because you know the truth of who you are. You know the truth of what happened. And you're so confident in yourself. And if you love yourself enough, and you wouldn't even be trying to beg anyone for their attention or ask why somebody is mistreating you. You wouldn't even give them any time and energy. You would take that time and energy in yourself, and you would focus on what it is that you want to create in this life. What else wants to come through? Whew, I feel like Spirit wants to say a lot. Yeah, and I think it's a powerful thing, as difficult as that may feel right now. It's like you're seeing the bigger picture. You're seeing the bigger picture. And you know, another thing I want to say about this too, is that many times this will happen when this big reveal, these tower moments for what you can see in clarity of people who you thought were going to be with you for the long term, or like you were friends with these people or establishments or whatever. You're starting to see these tower moments come down, the clarity, because you are moving into another timeline where there's more abundance and more blessings coming into your life, and these people are not going to be part of it. These people had a chance to be part of it, but because of divine protection, you are getting to see it firsthand earlier, because when these blessings come in, and they will come in, they're not going to have a seat at the table. They're not going to have a seat at the table. So that's what I'm getting here. Ooh, yeah. You're stepping into your power, solar plexus, and look at this, spiritual union. Not only are you connected in the spiritual realms, but also in your physical world. Like it's becoming a merging of alignment here. Look at this. Material harvest. Blessings are coming in. I can keep going. Partnerships and alliances. So you have new soul contracts coming in because you literally cleared out the things that are not working out for you and the people who are not supposed to be at your table. Major transformation. These are great. Major transformation for you, as well as prosperity begins. And that, I don't know, that is pretty on point, summarizing what it is that I've been picking up lately. That's crazy. And I feel like, whew, my heart's racing. It's almost like I'm gonna put this on. I put this on first before this reading, which is like Florida water, which kind of clears up any unwanted energies. But like I feel like this, it's like, feels like anxiety, but it's not. Maybe it is for some people because they can tell like something is brewing, percolating. But it's also a feeling of excitement. And it's excitement knowing that there's more coming, there's more things, and again, you're not just thinking of more, you're actually moving towards it, right? Let's end this reading with the field guide to garden dragons. So cute, by the way, super cute images. Look how freaking cute that is, like so cute. Anyways, let's go. All right, Spirit. Is there any other messages you would like for me to share at this time? I'm really thirsty right now, and that means there's a lot of energies flowing right now. Final messages. They're just like taking their time. Oh, there you go. Versatile. Three-headed dragons. What is there saying about three-headed dragons? Versatile. You know, in the image, okay, there's a couple things that I'm picking up on here. There's ants in this image. So it's like, you know how like ants can like lift like 10 times their weight? It's like you have a lot of spiritual backing. You are able to withstand and handle a lot of things. And I feel like there's something where once you start moving into the direction you want, there's gonna be an army of like people who will help you. That's the feeling that I'm getting here. Versatile means that you are well equipped to handle anything. So I feel like you're somebody that is like multi-talented. Like I feel like you have a good business sense. I feel like maybe you know how to crochet and draw and build and you're very creative. And you're also very good at marketing. You're very good at communicating. Like there's a lot of qualities here which you possess that will totally assist you in this next chapter in your life. So like no matter what happens, no matter what comes up, you are fully equipped to handle it. Like you are ready, you know. And peppers are kind of interesting because there's a pepper, so it's like sweet bell peppers or like hot peppers. I feel like you can be both. You know your boundaries. There's something about you are knowing how to handle each situation as it comes. You're not overly sweet to people. You're not overly feisty to people. You react and respond accordingly depending on the person in the moment. And this means like you're not gonna consistently judge someone. Like let's say maybe one day somebody was acting amok and you called them out on it. That's what you do in the moment, and you're not gonna hold it in your heart that they are always gonna be amok the whole time or in their future. You're willing to let that go is what I'm getting. In the moment, obviously, if they do it consistently, you'll know how to respond, right? However, there is something here about like really knowing yourself. And for me, when you respond in the moment exactly as it is, you're really living in the moment. That means not only are you fully in alignment with yourself, you are able to navigate the direction and the course of your life. It's like you're so free that even your guides are going to have a hard time telling which direction you go. In fact, they probably won't. They won't tell you what to do next because it's like you know what to do next. Everything will line up in a certain way where you know what you need to do next. And so I feel like that's kind of be what's happening here. And I feel like there's going to be people who are going to definitely regret the way that they've been treating you. Those who have been helping you on your journey, they will be blessed. Those who are not helping you or causing chaos, they will not be at your table, is what I'm getting here. So that's the reading that I have. I hope this reading resonates with those that are watching. Thanks again for staying tuned, and hopefully I'll be able to continue doing more readings. But yeah, thanks again, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.